Hi guys, Jada here and I'm back for my Red Bull season review. It's been a while since my last video, it's been a while since my last team review. I've just been so busy these past few days, I haven't had time to record, but I'm back. And before I start this video, I've got to do something that one of my friends told me to do. I've got to do a shout out to Luke Johnson. If you're watching this, oh. Oh man, he told me to do that. Anyways, this is why I'm here. So 2014 season for Red Bull, it didn't really start as well as we had hoped for. Well, they hoped for, because they ended on 2013 on such a high. You know, dominating, especially the last 4 years. They just dominated all the races and just won consecutive championships. You know, the next Ferrari, next McLaren. You know what I mean. The next big team in Formula 1. Brilliant. Pre-season didn't go as planned. You know, as technical faults, didn't get me much laps in at Jerez. Neither did much of the teams, but then by the time Barcelona came, they were still unprepared for the season. And we come to the first race in Australia, and they didn't score any points. Vettel didn't finish; he got a DNF, and Daniel Ricciardo got disqualified because of his fuel irregularity. I think it was. So it was a harsh weekend for Red Bull. It wasn't one that to be particularly proud of. But I think everyone was at the same level as what they were, apart from Mercedes, who were, you know, confused and very like, you know, how does the car work? Come Malaysia, it wasn't exactly multi-21 we were hoping for, but nevertheless, Vettel scored a podium, a third place, and Daniel Ricciardo didn't finish. He was doing so well, then I think he got a drive-through penalty, then he got a puncture, and then it just all went downhill from there. So, you know, Daniel Ricciardo wasn't having such a good start to Red Bull. But come Bahrain, he finally scored. He got a 4th place, and Sebastian Vettel got a 6th place. So Red Bull had made some progress, but they weren't exactly where they were hoping to be. China, Vettel 5th, Daniel Ricciardo 4th. So Ricciardo was outscoring Vettel at this stage. Sort of like it could have been like Mark Webber type, but I think Vettel was thinking that, yeah, he might be a little bit of a pushover, but Ricciardo was going to prove that he wasn't a pushover, because come Spain, Vettel 4th, Ricciardo 3rd. So Ricciardo got his first podium for Red Bull, I think it was his first podium in Formula 1. He had come close in the last 2 races. This is a hat-trick. He's out-raced Sebastian Vettel, so he's doing very, very well at this stage. The glitz and glamour of Monaco comes along. Sebastian Vettel didn't DNF. Daniel Ricciardo, another podium, you know, 2 podiums in a row. It's Spain and Monaco, especially at Monaco, you know, brilliant achievement by Daniel Ricciardo at this stage. And then Canada was probably one of the best results of the season. Sebastian Vettel 3rd and Daniel Ricciardo 1st. He won the race, his first ever win of his ever win in Formula 1, and first Red Bull win of the season, first win since Brazil 2013. So, and again, Daniel Ricciardo out-qualifying Sebastian Vettel. I mean, brilliant. How good is that for Daniel Ricciardo? Austria, Vettel a DNF. Daniel Ricciardo not as good as previous races, but he got 8th. At least he finished. It wasn't exactly a good, strong weekend. It was more or less Mercedes, Williams domination. It was more. Britain comes along, Vettel 5th, Ricciardo 3rd. Another podium by Ricciardo. He's doing very well. And by this stage, everyone was thinking that he is consistent. He is what, as we expect him to be. You know, he wasn't like he came into Red Bull and sort of like he didn't finish. He got DNFs here, there, and everywhere. You know, he is a point scorer. He is a podium consistent scorer. He can win races. You know, potential world champion if Red Bull played their cards right. So Germany, Sebastian Vettel's home race, and this is the first time since Malaysia he's actually out-raced Daniel Ricciardo. He finished 4th, and Daniel Ricciardo finished 6th. So, sort of declined from the last race as I saw, but progress was still to be made. As like in Hungary, Sebastian Vettel was 7th. That was his lowest finishing position, despite his DNFs. If you count the races he finished, 7th was his lowest so far. And Daniel Ricciardo got 1st. He won the race in Hungary. You know, I think Mercedes. I think, wasn't that the race where both cars had problems? I think it was. I think both cars were having little technical issues, and obviously they weren't as fast. And Ricciardo caught them and won the race. Belgium, the incident with Rosberg and Hamilton left Daniel Ricciardo to win the race. Sebastian Vettel 5th. You know, Daniel Ricciardo did a brilliant race, back-to-back races. Was it at this stage where, you know, Mercedes were getting the pressure was too much on Mercedes, on those two drivers, and then Red Bull could cope with this pressure. So could Daniel Ricciardo, and could they catch Mercedes up? In terms of the bid to win the constructors, a fifth one in a row. At this stage it was looking very bleak, but it was still possible. In Italy, Vettel 6th, Ricciardo 5th. Not a strong race. It wasn't exactly the track that matched their car. It was more or less, as like I said, again Mercedes pace. I think every track was, but hey ho. Another double podium. Sebastian Vettel 2nd, Daniel Ricciardo 3rd. That was down to Nico Rosberg's DNF. Vettel did a strong race. He does very well there. I think he's won probably the last 3 races per se, isn't it? He's won the most races there, I think, along with Hamilton won 1, and I think Alonso's won a few. I don't know. Japan as well. It was Vettel 3rd, Ricciardo 4th, and as I'm going to say in every Japanish Grand Prix, whenever we get up to this stage, I'm going to say #Forza Jules. We're still in your thoughts after that horrific crash of yours. But Vettel another podium, back-to-back podiums, and Daniel Ricciardo 4th. Vettel was outraced. I keep saying out-qualifying, outracing Daniel Ricciardo now. So can he cling back the point scoring and try and beat his teammate? Russia 8th and 7th. Vettel 8th, Ricciardo 7th. So I think there's all but concluded of how bad season it was for Red Bull. Not much as so because they got a new driver in, because Daniel Ricciardo was probably one of the best drivers of the season. In my opinion, he was probably driver of the season because he didn't have a quick car. He wasn't up with the likes of Mercedes, even Williams, because Williams' cars was very, very quick. And he got podiums, he got race wins. So from a terrible, disastrous start in pre-season was now almost a world championship winning season for Daniel Ricciardo. I think he'll be in the fight for next season, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, Russia 8 and 7. America, we'll come to USA. Vettel 7th, Ricciardo 3rd. Ricciardo yet again another podium. And it wasn't exactly a race. It was more as it wasn't really much as dominant races as we did see this season. It was more or less Mercedes-esque season. But Red Bull did pull out a good strong race at that stage. Vettel didn't have the pace. I think his tyres decayed very quickly, as did most of the grids. Ricciardo held his tyres well. The strategy was played right. I think Vettel made 1 or 2 extra pit stops, so it wasn't exactly good for Vettel at this stage. Brazil, Ricciardo a DNF and Sebastian Vettel 5th. I think Ricciardo had to retire the car, I believe. But who knows? And Abu Dhabi, Vettel 8th, Ricciardo 4th. So in total, it was more or less a slow but sort of positive season if you think about it for Red Bull. Despite them winning the 4 consecutive World Championships, 4 driver World Championships with Sebastian Vettel. They did a very good season, in my opinion. More Ricciardo than Vettel, and I think that's why Vettel really spat out his dummy and went to Ferrari, because he wasn't getting a winning car, which I don't know why he's gone to Ferrari for. But as like I said, when Massa went to Williams for this season, I said this last year, that I think there's something in the pipeline for Ferrari. I believe that there is something going on, because they've sacked in loads and loads of staff that weren't as good, and then they're bringing in someone like Sebastian Vettel, Kimi Räikkönen as well. Those two together. Will it work? I don't know, but I hope Sebastian Vettel does well. But I will talk about that in my Ferrari season review. But yeah, that is the Red Bull season review concluded. This is another video done by me. Next up is Williams. It's their turn next. If I can get it done, hopefully I'll try and get it done before Christmas. I might do a Christmas special video, or I think I'm going over my dad's for this Christmas, so I'll do one there. So it'll be a different atmosphere, different room space. And also I'll be doing the vlog as well. I hope you're enjoying that. It's just a random video and all that. And yeah, if you've got any video ideas, if you want to do that, just tweet us at Jordan F1 2014, or in the comments below, or on Facebook, send me a message. I'll answer back. And so yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you for the Williams season review.